Are we on the television? Hi, we are from Punjab, the place called Makeri or Jalandhar.
My name's Omar Sheikh. I'm one of the team at the Colourful Heritage project. We are on a coach heading up to Kingussie, Kingussie Cemetery to be exact, which is near Aviemore. We are doing an inaugural remembrance service together with the British Armed Forces to commemorate the contribution of the British Indian Army during the Great Wars. Over 2.5 million soldiers from the British Indian Army served in World War II. Just over 1.5 roughly million served in World War I as well, 1.3 million. And the reality is not enough people know this story.
This is the first time a formal remembrance service is happening for them, which is why it's so exciting that for the first time an organised group, Colourful Heritage with the Army, groups of people have come together to remember these soldiers and do a formal remembrance service for them.
My name is Taj Ahmed. I took a special day off today from work to attend this programme, and I was really fascinated when I've discovered how many Muslim soldiers actually took part in the British Army. I was so fascinated by that. Asians have played such a big part in the British Army that not many people know about that, and I think that's a big thing for me.
So we're launching a campaign today to have a permanent memorial, because what we want is for people to learn the sacrifices that have been made, and we're hoping people can reflect on this. And when you reflect, you can realise the commonality, the shared values, the commonality of our humanity, how we all fought together from different races. Even within the British Indian Army, you had Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs, and in the current climate, I think, of Brexit, of anti-migrant narrative, of the rise of Islamophobia and right-wing politics, I think now more than ever, this story needs to be told.
And in this place, we remember the men of Force K6 Transport Corps of the Indian Army, buried here so far from their loved ones and homes. We remember them that came to our support, who were sent to us as help from afar.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا اجتنبوا كثيرا من الظن إن بعد الظن إثم ولا تجسسوا ولا يغتب بعضكم بعضا. All believers are but one community. So establish peace and reconciliation amongst yourselves, and be mindful of God, so that you might be graced with His mercy.
Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
You know, one always has to look back in history and try and determine how one is going to treat tomorrow, you know, and the future. And I think that's certainly a message that has come across in all the sort of main speakers, you know, from today. And I think, on a spiritual note, the weather couldn't be kinder, the sun came out, and it certainly shone on us. So, yeah, it was a fantastic day.
My name is Guy Bowman. I'm a historian from Exeter University, and I've been here as part of this ceremony of commemoration of the 9 graves of the soldiers who were buried here in Kingussie. I hope that this will achieve some greater degree of awareness of the breadth of the Commonwealth and Empire contribution during the wars.
My name is Hamish Johnston, and my step-grandfather was a senior officer with Force K6. He was in this area with the troops, and indeed throughout the war, and the atmosphere and feeling amongst the people here commemorating the work and the bravery of these men is absolutely magnificent. The words of the Imam, the words of the minister, all joined together to show how much we all have in common, and how little there is that really divides us and gives us hope for better things sometime in the future.
Our armed forces today and those who have served justly in the days gone are a clear example of this will of God. It is them that we remember today in our hearts and in our minds.
The living owe it to those who no longer can speak to tell their story for them. And we hope today we've just started the first chapter of that story.
It was really, really poignant, and to see so many people from so many faiths coming together to remember, people from undivided India. It was absolutely heartwarming for myself. So thank you very much to everyone who joined us.
In World War II, in fact, there were 2.5 million volunteers to the Indian Army. There were 4,000 gallantry awards and 38 Victoria and George Crosses. That was an enormous contribution.
We pay due homage to those that went before us, as we did today, for those who made the ultimate sacrifice. But it's also, and perhaps even more important, it's by understanding the shared values that those soldiers from so many faiths and countries had, that we encounter something which is far, far stronger than the forces that we sometimes carelessly let divide us.
Those who lost their lives then, those who paid the tremendous sacrifices, those who faced great sufferings, I'm sure they would want us to remember them. But more than that, they would want us to honor them.
Isabel Harling. She's a very special person who's so privileged that she could come along with her family. She's 95 if I'm correct, and she's a member of the British Legion in Scotland. She's certainly a member of the British Legion who fulfills the motto that they have, which is service before self. And she has tended to the graves of these 9 young men buried in Kingussie Cemetery in Force K6 for over 60 years.
Their families were far away and they were far from home. And I didn't want the families at home to think their boys were forgotten. Because my brother is buried in Belgium. And the people of Belgium look after his grief. It's only right that somebody around here should look after the Indian boys.
Because you have given the most service to these lads. So this is for you.
I never thought this day would, I never even dreamt this day would happen, because I don't need thank you. I was happy to do it for the boys, far from home. It's marvellous that all the lads down at the cemetery are remembered, officially as well as privately, and to let the family know that they're not forgotten.
So thank you once again for all of your support. Have a safe journey home, and my plea to you would be to let's take this story and let the whole world know about it. Thank you very much.